Hi, my name is Maggie Hsu, and I'm the worldwide specialist for Amazon Managed Blockchain. And I'm joined today by Thomas Olenloyo, CEO of Legal & General Reinsurance. Today, I'll be giving an introduction to blockchain concepts, providing an overview of Amazon Managed Blockchain, and then turning it over to our customer in the insurance space, Legal & General, who's using blockchain for pension risk management. Blockchain creates a peer-to-peer network enabling multiple parties to transact without a central authority. So what does a multi-party transaction need? First, all parties need a way to independently verify transactions. Second, they should have a single current view of the data, essentially a single source of truth. And third, all parties need assurance that the data is tamper-proof. Today, customers either rely on a central authority or engage expensive escrow services to run these multi-party transactions. These are some of the key use cases that we have seen. The first is track and trace of goods in a supply chain, where you have multiple parties along the way, such as manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and they all need a single view of the data. The second is settlement, for example, financial transactions in capital markets or letters of credit in the trade finance space. And the third is identity management or decentralized identity. For example, allowing job seekers to securely share their credentials with prospective employers. So what does blockchain really do? Blockchain builds trust in a network and eliminates the need for a central authority. It has three main components: a distributed ledger, a consensus mechanism, and smart contracts. Together, these components provide immutability and trust. But there are a number of challenges with existing blockchain solutions. Network setup is hard. It's complex both in terms of time and resources to set up nodes. It's hard to scale and grow, to get new members, and to increase network usage. It's complicated to manage, so who bears the cost on the back end? And it's expensive. That's why we built Amazon Managed Blockchain to solve these challenges. Amazon Managed Blockchain is a fully managed service that makes it easy to create and manage scalable blockchain networks using popular open source frameworks such as Hyperledger Fabric and Ethereum. Now I'll turn it over to Thomas Olenloyo, CEO of Legal & General Reinsurance, to talk about how his company is using Amazon Managed Blockchain in the insurance space.
Thank you, Maggie, for that wonderful introduction. And hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Olenloyo, and I'm the CEO of Legal & General Reinsurance. We are a global reinsurance company with revenue last year of just over $13 billion. Reinsurance means that we provide insurance to other insurance companies, and our specialism is life reinsurance, and in particular, annuities, which are retirement incomes. Our focus is in annuities relating to large pension funds, and we do this primarily in the UK, Europe, the US, and Canada. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about the powerful way we are using blockchain in our business and how we believe this proves that blockchain should be used to manage all pensions around the world. For those that don't know, the global pension system is huge. It is actually one of the largest parts of the global financial system, worth trillions of dollars and covering hundreds of millions of lives. They are therefore a necessary part of income in retirement, which almost everyone listening today will at some point receive. Before I go on though, a quick sidebar to talk about our partners at AWS, who have been such a huge part of our journey. After about 2 years of development, we have an enterprise solution having had almost no previous experience with blockchain, and this is almost entirely due to the incredible support we have received from the AMB team, who have dedicated so much time to us to helping us deliver something that we believe is revolutionary within our industry. Now back to pensions. What do you think is the most important question when it comes to pensions? It is, of course, who? Who should be paid and who should be paid right now? These are the obvious questions which hundreds of years of pensions management have not yet managed to get right. This is because of many reasons. People change address, they change names, forget they have a pension, or just bad record keeping. Not being able to definitively answer the question of who leads to significant waste of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. When we break this down, there are 4 problems that need to be solved in pensions to allow them to be managed with accuracy and confidence. I will describe each one of these problems and how blockchain is not just a great solution, but the perfect solution. I believe that blockchain can and should be the technology on which all pensions are managed in the long term. And with AWS, we are making that a reality. The first problem is called the existence problem. Who is alive right now? Millions are paid each year to people who are no longer alive, or even worse, not paid to those who are alive, but where there is uncertainty. That is millions in waste that ultimately could go back into the system to make it stronger. Now, this might be hard to believe, but letters are still sent to people around the world to confirm if they are alive, and that determines if they receive a pension or not, which is absolutely astounding to us, especially given the technology we have available to us today. We solve this using blockchain by building a digital identity from data held by all members of the network. Someone has the data or has access to the data. The problem is getting it around the network. With a blockchain and a mechanism for consensus, we're able to establish existence with greater accuracy than has ever been possible and in real time. This solves the existence problem and eliminates the waste and inefficiency I mentioned before. The second problem is naturally called the population evolution problem. What has happened to the population over time? How has it changed? In addition to establishing existence right now, at a point in time, we also need to understand this existence over the history of the population. This adds a temporal dimension to how we view the data. A solution to this problem, along with one to the existence problem, will allow us to definitively change the way we think of a population of retirees. A blockchain, by definition, solves the population evolution problem by building that perfect history through consensus, which is immutable. We can rewind the clock to understand the population at any point in time and to identify when there was a change. It adds another dimension to how we view and understand this data. This temporal dimension that is enabled by a blockchain is one of the keys to transforming the pensions landscape worldwide. Let's move on now to the third problem, which is the transparency or consistency problem. This is the problem that arises because the pensions ecosystem is very fragmented. There are multiple parties involved, all providing services that enable the pensions to be paid. Now, wouldn't it be great, or even just expected, that everyone in the network has the same data? You're probably already guessing that this is not the case. What you have instead is a messy soup of different versions shared between parties by email or data rooms so that everyone can be working on a different data set. No one actually has the right data because it is inherently out of date, given the limitation in the underlying current technology. The way to solve this is to put a blockchain between the parties, and all these issues and the additional ones that grow from them evaporate. With a blockchain, everyone sees the same data, and everyone can do so consistently. And because you have solved the existence and population evolution problems first, you know that the data is live, it's real time, and you don't have to second guess whether the right decisions are being made. Now, I hope it is increasingly clear why blockchain should be the foundation of the global pension system. If those three reasons were not enough, I'll give you one more. Insurers and reinsurers, like ourselves, play an increasingly important role in the landscape. This is because of what we call buyouts or closeouts, which is when we provide insurance for the pensions. So we replace what is effectively a promise from an employer or hope that markets perform in a 401k with a guarantee from an insurance company. So we write these insurance contracts that can last almost 50 years. And to provide that insurance, we need good data, ideally great data, which of course we rarely have. We get bad data with errors and have to go through a process of something called data cleansing, which can mean multiple years in extreme situations where the wrong data is used. This means that we make assumptions and add costs to these transactions, which can be in the billions of dollars in size due to this uncertainty. We are the final link in the chain, the final destination, and the ultimate home for pensions. We want to get it right. We want to ensure the right benefits are paid. We want to provide the best guarantee possible. To do all this, we need a great set of data, which is validated and traceable. We need a new solution for managing pensions risk. What we need is a blockchain. Now, I hope I've been able to communicate the magnitude of the problem and just how effective blockchains are in solving them. The network we are building is one that has the potential to be vast, spanning the thousands of pension plans around the world, covering hundreds of millions of people and financial institutions, including banks, insurance companies, asset managers, and everyone else involved in the management of pensions. AMB provides a unique proposition that is built for scale. As AWS is already widely used around the world, it also removes a key barrier of access that may otherwise exist. To add a participant to the network happens in less than a couple of hours, making deployment quick and easy. What AMB has delivered for us is an enterprise solution that is not only easy to implement, but easily scalable as well. Changing the world in any way requires collaboration. With AMB, we believe we have the right partner to transform the management of pensions, and with that, hundreds of millions of lives around the world.